It's taken a while for me to be able to sit down and write my reflections about Montana. It was supposed to be a time of respite for me and a chance to give the vehicles some TLC, a sort of island in a sea of constant motion. Instead, it was chaos and one costly repair after another. I am grateful I was at least near family where I had some familiarity and sense of security as I went through the ordeal. None of that is Montana's fault, and it is no reflection on the state itself. It's just the circumstance that made it hard to want to revisit the whole saga. Steinbeck wrote that he was in love with Montana. He says, "For other states I have admiration, respect, recognition, even some affection. But with Montana it is love, and it is difficult to analyze love when you're in it. It seemed to me that Montana is a great splash of grandeur. The scale is huge but not overpowering. The land is rich with grass and color, and the mountains are the kind I would create if mountains were even put on my agenda. Montana seems to me to be what a small boy would think Texas is like from hearing Texans. I can't argue with any of that. It earns its moniker Big Sky Country, and because of that, I do have to quibble with Steinbeck a bit in his statement that it is huge but not overpowering. To me, the enormity of the wide open spaces is overwhelming. I look across the expanse and can barely fathom its reach. To me, the only place that could more go on forever is actual outer space. If you've never been, it is an experience you should allow yourself. Each of us, especially in this age of contraction and constriction into our little digital worlds, should have the opportunity to see ourselves against the backdrop of land and sky that stretch beyond our perception. We should all have the chance to see how small we are and how much there is outside of us, and then feel ourselves there as a part of the macrocosm." Steinbeck also noted, "Here, for the first time, I heard a definite regional accent unaffected by TVEs, a slow-paced, warm speech. It seemed to me that the frantic bustle of America was not in Montana. The calm of the mountains and the rolling grasslands had got into the inhabitants. It seemed to me that the towns were places to live in rather than nervous hives. People had time to pause in their occupations to undertake the passing art of neighborliness." Again, I found much of the same to be true about the Montana I experienced. There has been growth in the cities to the point that I'm not sure Steinbeck would describe them in the same way, but the people still hold that same warmth and neighborliness. Even as they engage in their occupations, they demonstrate that. The month I spent there before setting out on this journey revealed the same, and had I not been put through the ringer on vehicle upkeep, I would have explored more of the outdoor areas that weren't accessible while the snow was still mounted all around us. I did drive through Glacier National Park, but didn't get to really experience it. I have an affinity for the mountains that I don't completely understand beyond the obvious aesthetic beauty and majesty. I hope to return at another time and delve deeper into the land there." Steinbeck's closing thoughts on Montana resonate for me. "If Montana had a seacoast, or if I could live away from the sea, I would instantly move there and petition for admission. Of all the states, it is my favorite and my love. I can't say Montana is my favorite and my love, but it would stand a greater chance of winning that spot if it overlooked the ocean. And that is why leaving there and heading westward, closer to the place that does seem to have my heart at the moment, is filling me with renewed energy for the journey."